The level of work we're doing today around emissions wouldn't be possible without some level of automation. And of all the platforms we looked at, we think Sumday was absolutely the right choice for us. So I've been at Australian Unity for just over 2 years now, and we are responsible for looking at and thinking about the impact that Australian Unity has on people and the environment. We have kind of $2 billion turnover each year. We run a lot of retirement living businesses, a lot of aged care centres, have a lot of health insurance customers and home health customers as well. So that's where we provide services to people in their home to keep them out of hospital where we can. The idea there is to try and reduce the growing drain on the health system across Australia.
Sounds like a bit of a data challenge to some degree.
It turns out there's data everywhere, and it lives in different systems and looks different depending on who you speak to, and has different levels of completeness and accuracy. Actually having the benefit of someone explain the whole kind of carbon accounting ecosystem and how to use tools within that system is really helpful. And so I've really enjoyed a lot of the learning materials and tutorials that have gone along with that. So I think the holistic service that you get with Sumday is probably the thing that makes it a really compelling proposition. But obviously it's been designed to be the carbon analogue of financial accounting. And so once you understand your way around financial balance sheet, it kind of makes sense that you can understand your way around a carbon balance sheet as well. A finance team is used to dealing with things in a certain way. And if a tool turns up that treats carbon accounting exactly the same way as it treats financial accounting, I think people become a lot more comfortable with it very quickly. Getting over the initial learning curve and understanding how it all fits together means it's really easy to use from that point on. For the purposes of expediency, sometimes tried to cut corners with imperfect data sets. Sumday is very good at not letting you kind of cut corners when you import data. So there's a very clear process for the importation of data and a very clear process for the reconciliation of transactions. I only think you start to appreciate it once you've kind of sat there and reflected on it for a while. If you think about how the Australian Sustainability Reporting Standards framework is designed to work, it's really driving reporting entities to get more comprehensive and more accurate with their reporting over time. So if you look to the assurance regime that sits off the back of it, there's a little bit of limited assurance in year one, a little bit more limited assurance in year two, and then by year 3 and year 4, you're moving into reasonable assurance. And I don't know if everyone's really appreciated the amount of work required to generate a data set and processes that survive reasonable assurance. But everything we're doing at the moment is all about building capability and building capacity, not just in data, but in processes and governance to make sure that we're in a position to be able to get reasonable assurance over this data and all of the necessary processes when we need to. That's where systems like Sumday and other systems become really important, because we've got to be able to convince an auditor that what we've done is appropriate and relevant and comprehensive. One of the things that really helped me with our auditors in the year just gone, it was really important to be able to get access to people when I needed access to them. And so I think having the right people available at the right time is actually super critical to the whole process. Ultimately, I think where we'll get to with this whole ecosystem is there'll be some kind of platform response to it. And I think where Sumday's going with that is super helpful for everyone. So if everyone's data ends up being in one spot and it's interoperable, that reduces the amount of fiddle time for us on the other side of that.